Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. If a woman isn't realistic, leave her alone. Just leave her alone. Look, and you know what, this car video was inspired by something I saw a couple times on IG, and a couple people even sent me a copy of it on IG. It was like a panel, one of those panels. It was a couple guys, couple women. And this guy was breaking it down how unrealistic some women were. Because he was saying, you got these women out here, yeah, they want a guy who makes six figures, but that eliminates like 85% of the male population. And then, you know, he was breaking it down even further. He said, shoot, out of that 15%, half of them are into alternative lifestyles. He said gay at first, then he cleaned that up and said alternative lifestyles. Shoot. And then, you know, they want a guy who's fit, so they're taking out some dudes who might be tall and obese. Yeah, tall was in there. You know, they want a guy 6 feet. You know, they want a guy who's fit. And then he even threw in some astrological signs. I was like, shit. They were left with 0.5%. But that's some real stuff, because you got some women out here, especially online. I mean, they want Superman. And they'll say it. Or they'll go on like these balloon pop shows or street interviews. They'll say, well, the guy got to be this, he got to be that, he got to be 6 feet tall, he got to be 6'2", he got to be whatever, he got to be making six figures and all of that. And I'm like, man, that's unrealistic. Oh, and let me just on a tangent, because every time I talk about money, I always get some Bama ass motherfucker who try to act like, oh, you hating on some guy with money. Well, all right, well, I tell you what. Here's a link to where I live now. I'm going to show you where I live. I got to have some money to live where I'm living, okay? So, here's a link for it. You get some nosy motherfuckers. They want to know, well, here's where I'm at. Yeah, so apparently I got some money. You know? I ain't going to say how much. I'll just say it's in six figures, so I ain't hating, but I'm still telling the truth out here about some ridiculousness. And it is ridiculous, but here's the only way as a man, as a group of men, we can really deal with it. Because remember what I said yesterday. If a critical mass of men, say women had to wear their hair in a ball and wear skirts down to their ankles, give it some time, give it a few weeks, shoot, sometimes it might be overnight, they'll be doing that. Men, we have power. We have power. We don't have to put up with anything. And you got a lot of women out here, shit, they want damn near perfect. Like that 6-figure thing, right? You know, you got some women and they ain't at that class level. Remember this week I was talking about social class and everything. Dudes who are at that level, they ain't gonna deal with certain women. Not even for sex. They ain't gonna deal with certain women. These women are unrealistic. And then that height thing, you know, I'm always jumping on that height thing. In fact, somebody on my Patreon, which that's the best way to catch up with me, is on my Patreon. Y'all need to join my Patreon. Y'all need to join it, because that's where Rom gets raw. That's where I get raw at. But somebody was talking about, you know, the attitude of some short kings and shit. But yeah, you still get some women out here. Yeah, they want dude to be 6'2" and whatever, but you don't see it that much. Because like I said, I be out and about, and I ain't 6 feet. And I be seeing some dudes. It's rare I see some dudes taller than me. It's rare. And I said I ain't 6 feet. But you get some women talking about, well, he got to be 6 feet and stuff. Now, realistically, I can understand if a woman wants somebody taller than her, but if she 5'2", somebody 5'4" is taller than her, right? But here's the problem. too many men get mad at these women for saying all this stuff, saying they want 6 figures and, and all of that. I'm going to tell you the truth. They have every right to want what they want. They can want a dude making 6 figures. They can want a dude who's 6'3", in shape. Oh, probably handsome. They ain't say anything about being handsome, but being fit. Got all this stuff. Oh, worships their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ a certain way. Or be a certain astrological sign. Let them want it. Don't get mad at them. I'm telling you, don't get mad. See, what happens is too many men get mad at them and get pressed. If a woman says what she wants, I don't care what it is. It ain't realistic. They probably going to get it, and they probably won't. But if you not those things, you don't have those things, you just tell the woman, have a nice day. See, the problem is, too many men get upset over it. And see, some women, they'll say some shit like that just to get you upset. But if you act like, okay, pick out your nails, say, okay, all right. If I run into somebody like that, I'll let them know that you're looking for them. Or you act like you ain't pressed. Yeah, it was about to be an accident right there. Somebody turning all slow and shit. Bitch could have waited. But I'm going to tell you what, anyway, right? Anyway. One of the things that you want to do is just be realistic. If these women, if you run into a woman and she got some crazy fantasy what she want, and you don't reach that fantasy, leave her alone. Because I'm going to tell you what, that's what men need to stop doing, because there's plenty of women out here who are more realistic. Okay, like that height thing. There's plenty of women out here, they ain't saying no 6 feet or anything. They just want a guy taller than them. Now, if the average height for a woman is 5'4", 5'7" is taller than them. And they ain't tripping. And don't go by what y'all be seeing online or some of these balloon pop shows. Those women crazy anyway. Now, I'm going to say it. Those women are crazy on there. They be whatever. No matter what they say. Because as a man, you got to be comfortable with yourself. You ain't going to, look, there's 4 billion women in this world. You're not going to be the perfect man for every single woman. No matter what. No matter what. Even if a woman is being realistic, you still might not be attractive to her. You don't worry about it. And see, what a bunch of men need to do, what a critical mass of men need to do is stop worrying about it. If a woman says she wants 6 figures, okay. Wish her luck in finding that guy. And wish her luck in finding that guy who's going to want her. Or if they say they want a certain astrological sign and you not that sign, okay. All right. Like I said, just brush it off and keep going. Whatever they say, if you not that person, or if you ain't there, boom. Because here's the problem. When women say that and men get upset, women stay with it. Now, when that woman is alone and she got all her crazy whatever, she got all these crazy standards, let her have it. You don't get upset. See, part of the problem with a lot of men is they getting upset. They think, and and that's a problem even online. You got guys think they got to be built a certain way, or think they got to look a certain way, or whatever. All you have to do is be the best version of yourself. If the woman doesn't like that, whatever. Seriously, that's the attitude that you got to have. That's the attitude that you got to have with some of these women out here. If these women going to be unrealistic, if they want Superman or some fantasy, let them live in that fantasy. First of all, as a man, you in the real world. You in the real world. You just doing the best you can. If a particular woman don't like it, you know, like she might say she wants somebody 6'2" and making 6 figures and all of this shit, right? All right. And let her have fun. And then that guy still has to like her. But don't worry about it. If you're not those things, shoot, you worry about it. Shoot. Maybe your mission in life ain't to make that. You know, your mission in life might be to be a teacher or whatever. Do whatever you can on your own, you know, whatever you want to do. Because then that woman, first of all, if that woman in some fantasy, she ain't going to be in cooperation with your operation or in submission to your mission. She ain't going to help you out. She ain't choosing you. Let her go. See, too many guys get upset. You don't get upset. See, too many guys get upset, get mad at the women and shit. No. Let her go. I'm going to emphasize that. I'm going to emphasize that throughout this video. Let her go. Don't worry about it. There's more than enough women who going to be realistic. They're going to be realistic about whatever your height is, whatever you offering, even whatever your job is. There's plenty of them out there, and there's some very attractive women. They're gonna be realistic about it. And when I say attractive, at least attractive enough to you. You know? At least attractive to you. You just have to be realistic about who you are as a man, what you trying to do, how much money you making, and everything, and what you trying to do. You don't worry about that woman. Seriously. Now, I know you get some band, but they probably, well, why you have a channel on talking about getting women? I ain't say leave women alone totally. I say just leave the unrealistic ones alone. Like I said, there's plenty of realistic ones out there. And you know what? They ain't that bad. Nah, they might not look like supermodel of the world, but shit. You want that woman down for your program. You know, you want that woman going to support whatever you trying to do, wherever you trying to go. That's what you concerned with. Yeah, that's the only thing you need to be concerned. Is she down for you? Don't worry about whatever she is, because seriously, I ran into some women, shoot, they 30s, 40s, and 50s, still got some crazy-ass fantasy man that they look for. Let them look. You don't worry about it. Because if a critical mass of men just say, you know what, we're just going to deal with the realistic women, the women really down for something, that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to start seeing with some women out here. See, a lot of these women, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of these women will say something, especially online, because other women will say it. You know? Like you got like that balloon pop show. You know, I'm going to use it, because like I said, it's a gift they keep on giving. Some women, they telling some guy 6 feet, oh, you too short. Then other women popping and shit. Man, fuck all that. Shoot. Because one day, you heard it from me first, one day you're going to get a group of men, they're going to be like, you know what, we don't got time for these bitches. Seriously. They're going to say, yeah, I said it like that. Because you don't have time for it. You know, you are who you are. You're going to fix up to be the best you can be, but if the woman is going to be unrealistic about it, leave her alone. Because let's get back to what that video that inspired me. Damn, that light is so damn quick. That video, right? You know, you get these women talking about they want a guy 6 figures and stuff. The reality is there ain't that many guys. Or 6 feet. There ain't that many guys. Shoot, they create a scarcity model within themselves, really. Meanwhile, some guy who, you know, he might be a good 5 figures and stuff, but he good at managing money. That might be better. Here's what it come down to. So this is why you don't worry about those women. They'll get, like, you'll get some guy, he'll got all that stuff, but then he'll be a dog. He will dog them out because he's seeing what the deal is. He will dog them out. And if that's what they want, man, you just be like, okay. That's what you want, honey? Okay, all right. and then be crying and stuff. I was like, well, hold up. That's what you said you wanted. Because trust me, I told you, I talk to men and women out here. I be out in the streets. I talk to real people in the real world. I lost count of how many women I met. They met exactly what they asked for. Some guy who matched whatever their fantasy was. And then they got dogged. They got dogged. Dogged. You know? Instead of worrying about, because what women need to worry about, they need to worry about a man who's going to have good intentions towards them. That beyond that, because there's been some women destroyed by that. That's what I would tell women. You know, they so busy saying all this other stuff. You know, he gotta be this, he gotta be that, and then they get it, then that man destroys them. No, as a man, you can't worry about it. You can't lose sleep over it. The sun is always right here when I come here. You can't lose sleep over it as a man, because you living in, first of all, you living in the real world. See, one thing, men don't have the luxury to fantasize, even though some do anyway. That's a whole other conversation. But men don't have the luxury to fantasize. You know? We don't have the luxury. We got to face real life consequences for our actions. We got to deal in the real world. We don't have time for any of that bull. And I'm going to call it bull. We don't have time for it. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all of that shit. We don't have time for any of that. We gotta deal with real life consequences. We expected to solve problems and everything. The type of woman you need to be realistic about who she is, what she can get, and everything. And I'm gonna tell you what, that's not like some theory or something. I know some guys saying they ain't getting nobody, but I've seen plenty of happy couples out here, and, you know, the guy might not be like, you know, that Superman or whatever, but they realize one thing about relationships is relationships are about growth. Because everybody got something they got to deal with. Everybody got something. Ain't nobody perfect out this building. Nobody is perfect. You know, and you get some couples, they realize they got to work on something. They got to work on themselves and everything. And it's about growth. In fact, some spiritual people, ministers and stuff, they've said that to me. They say, relationships are about growth, you know? And no, you're not going to be that in that perfect thing. You know, if you run into women like that, like I said, you don't get upset. They can do whatever. As a man, you don't get upset. You're looking for that woman who's going to deal in reality. And if you're saying you have trouble finding that, then that's really on you. That's really on you. Because there's plenty of women out there, they more realistic about what they want in a man. You know, man trying to do something. It's like this one young girl said to me one time, young girl, and she had more sense. She said, look, I'm looking for a guy with a job and a plan. And as a man, you should have a plan anyway. As a man, you should have a mission anyway. So that's on you. That ain't on the women. And even some of these women out here who want that guy with all that money and all that stuff, they gotta realize that guy had to build towards that. And I've said that to women. I said you need to find out about that guy before he started building. Yeah, don't be at the finish line. Too many women want to be at the finish line and shit. Fuck that. That's another reason you don't want to deal with one of those unrealistic women. They want the finish line. This ain't even saying, because sometimes you say that to women. They say, well, I want to build a man. No. You just riding, you just walking along with him. Where's he building himself? Because any man, and let me be clear about that, Any man need to be building himself any damn way, himself. Don't worry about what that woman wants to do. Every man need to say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do with my life. This is where I'm going to go. That's how a man got to look at it. And if you run into that woman, and in fact, you get some men like that who've actually built themselves up, they will test a woman out. Because I'm thinking about a few men I've known, these guys probably like got $250,000, $500,000 right now. They would go on dates. They have 2 cars. They have like that like late model, European model car, you know, fancy car, and they had a hoopty. So guess what they go on a date with? You know they go with the hoopty just to see where that woman's at. But here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. Men need to stop worrying about these unreal. They getting mad at them and saying that. Stop trying to change them. If a woman's showing you who she is, and she's showing she ain't realistic, you don't need her. I don't care how fine she look. I don't care what her breasts is, or fat ass, or butt dunk look like. If she got thick thighs that can save lives, it don't matter. If she ain't realistic, you don't need to deal with it. You gotta deal with the real world and shit. Alright? That's the most important thing. That is the most important thing, alright? That's where you want to do, that's where you want to be. And if we get a critical mass of men who say, you know what, we don't care, or getting upset, like, okay, like that height thing. You talking about all the, and I've talked about that several times. These women talking about they want somebody all that. Let them have it. Don't you get upset. Whatever height you are, that's what you are. You're going to work with it. If you 5'8", 5'9", hey, it is what it is. You don't get upset. If that woman don't want you because of that, just say, okay, all right. Then you don't say nothing to her. Just say, okay, let her do her thing. Because you get a critical mass of men who don't give a fuck, because that's one of the worst things that with women. You act like you don't give a fuck about some of that bullshit. Shit. You act like you don't give a fuck, they ain't gonna lose sleep. They ain't gonna lose sleep at all. And that's how you gotta be. Shoot, well, they might lose sleep. You don't lose sleep. How about that? I said that. I gotta say that right. You don't lose sleep. You just doing what you're gonna do. You're gonna be a man about it and do what you do. Alright? And if you get a critical mass of men who just say, you know what, I'm gonna be comfortable who I am. I ain't gonna let what these women say mess with me. And I'm just gonna do what I do. You'll be alright. Alright, which way you gonna go? Alright, which way you gonna go? Alright. I don't know what this person doing. Anyway, I'm gonna go right here. I'm going here and get some vittles. Anyway, right? I want y'all to think about that. You know, seriously. Because, I think I said I put a link to that particular video, so that inspired this one. I already put a link in the description box. Here's a little clip off of IG. I think I said, I don't remember. Man, almost ran into somebody because they making a turn they shouldn't have made. And people, you know, it's funny. Every now and then I get somebody, hey man, it's some dumbass motherfucker talking about, hey man, maybe you should be reading something. I say, dude, I gotta be paying the motherfucking attention, man. Shit. Shit. You know? So anyway, though, I'm going to go ahead and get some food. Anyway, man, I get back with y'all.